Hold on, I said good evening. Welcome all. We welcome all the guests. Again, thank you, Sean, one more time for giving me this opportunity. I am Jaron Hinton, and throughout this speech, you'll learn who I am. The name of the speech that I present to you all this evening is called The Stubborn Statistic. The Stubborn Statistic. Let's get into it. In life, there are chronological dates and quotes that define who you are. For me personally, my defining quote is, well, can I get Bojangles? And I know we in Chicago, you probably don't know what that is, right? So my southern translation will let you know. Bojangles is a hearty southern restaurant that serves a mean 4-piece chicken strip. It's got fries that's seasoned by the gods and a biscuit salted in marshmallows with tea that's sweeter than the song Miss Sweetie. Let's put a pin in that for now, though. On the more important things, dates. The dates of your life define who you are, how you are, and why the breaths of life matter. Got me on the feed? Check, 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 check. A little bit more, bring me down a little more. Thank you, appreciate you. Dates. The dates of your life define who you are, how you are, and why the breaths of life matter. April 12th, 1986. That is the date I entered the world in a small county in North Carolina called Bertie. Now let's talk about this county. At the time, with a population of 17,000 people, a median household income of only $20,000, and only 35% of the county holding a job, what could you expect? There you go. And in this town, with less than 10% of the county ever going to college, I somehow found myself at North Carolina State University. Which brings me to my next date, November 17, 2005. Out of 51 million black people, only 4 million or 7% have ever crossed the burning sands of a black Greek letter organization. And on that date, I joined the infamous Eta Omicron chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, 06 to the bros. You know the count. And as if beating the stats weren't enough, on an entire college campus with more students than my hometown, I was chosen to join the organization, and out of 10, only 7, a jewel line that mimicked the founders, crossed on that day. And as for me, I was honored to be called the ace, the rock, the leader of my line. Another statistic comment. Invincible and unconquerable described life upon this moment. So much so that I tattooed the word Invictus over my heart in a circle of ambergris. The last lines of the famous poem by William Ernest Henley states, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." That was December of 2014. The following year, in 2015, I would have to face a different type of statistic. After getting sick in 2015, I casually went to the ER for a terrible cough. It seemed routine enough, and the doctor gave me a once-over and released me with a common steroid known as prednisone. It was supposed to help me for breathing, and for the most part it did, until the one time it didn't. In March of 2015, after missing 1 dose of prednisone, I felt a pain that is yet to be matched. My body ached, an ache that feels as if the bones were churning on themselves. Also, along with the bones churning, they were ice cold in a way that blankets can't conquer. Ironically enough, that evening, I woke up in a cold sweat, soaking the pillows in a cold puddle. I woke up groaning. This pain instantly put me on the floor. Then came the vomit. Then came the locking up of the chest. Now in my bathroom, choosing between taking gas or breaths or deciding which breath I would use to continue vomiting. The pains and screams left me in a ball with the pain that couldn't be described, explained, or controlled. All of this for missing a pill for a cold just didn't seem right. After getting to the hospital, they hooked me up to an IV, and I told them about the missed dose of prednisone, and the doctor paused. A very uneasy pause. It is very early in the morning, but I wasn't groggy. He started an IV drip and ran 3 more chest x-rays. Now at this point, I'm back to chilling. The pains eased back, my body temp seems cool, and now I'm just ready to go. March 7, 2015. The nurse tiptoed in the room with a very nervous laughter. Mr. Hinton, she said quietly, I have your results and I have something to tell you. Now let's pause right there, hold on. Who the hell does that? If you walk into my room and you were speaking to me, I'm almost positive there's something you need to tell me. But back to the story. Let's get back to it. She goes on to say, Mr. Hinton, unfortunately, I have some bad news. Based on your chest scans and results, we believe you have 2 options based on what we see. Either you have lymphoma and it's stage 4, based on your nodules, and we would have to immediately put you on chemotherapy, or you have a rare disease known as sarcoidosis, which is stage 4 as well, and has no cure. Based on the aggressive nodules on lungs, we have concluded that your time realistically is very limited. And although I know this is a lot for you to process, we must perform surgery immediately to get a biopsy of your lung to confirm exactly what the diagnosis is and which is correct. I'll save my actual response until the end, but the silence that covered the room was smothering. I'm 28 years old. A nurse just told me to get my affairs in order because my time on this side was limited. What affairs? Until her words, I was invincible. Now I'm so shocked I went numb to it all. My brain couldn't accept either. I instantly would become thoughtful, but I became pissed. What authority do you have on my life you've never created? Do you know exactly who you're talking to? I spent the next 3 months in the hospital with a slice on my chest that went ironically through my Invictus circle tattooed across it. The surgeon said, I thought your tattoo was pretty cool, and I tried to sew it up and keep your circle as tight as possible. Imagine proclaiming to the Most High you are an unconquerable soul, and the answer to that question relied on breaking your little circle. The irony didn't escape me. I wake up from the surgery and was informed I had sarcoidosis. After a quick search, I realized that this disease affected 16 per 100,000 people in 2015. What a stat. How do I beat this? Can I beat this? The next few months were a blur. The people I told treated me as if I was going to die. They magically found stories of every family member that knew or heard that already died, and somehow I simply shrugged. After joining the support group, I saw quickly most had accepted the same doctor's words and watched the sarcoidosis group dwindle from week to week as they simply accepted death. The only treatment, prednisone. What made this disease so aggressive and deadly is the fact that it can spread to any organ at any time with no rhyme and no reason at all. And for me, it did. It affected my eyes, it flashed by my brain, it covered my lungs, and it took over my skin. No organ was off limits, and we battled. See, death is promised to us all, but it's something significantly dire when you are put on a proverbial clock that hits your ears and your heart different. After the test, I was told not realistically to plan my life past the end of 2015. July and August come and go. The doctors are simply going through the motions and the visits turn into hospice talks. Would you like a wheelchair, Mr. Hinton? We can bring you a more comfortable bed into your home and allow you a morphine drip to ease back your body pains. Excuse my French, but I had to plainly ask my doctor, who the fuck you talking to? I took my prednisone prescriptions, went home and thugged it all the way out, and here I stand. The stubborn statistic. The stubborn statistic that refused to succumb to anyone's negative expectations. You throw me burnt tea, I respond with degrees. You send me to a predominantly white university, I return in letters. And everyone under the sound of my voice is just as stubborn of a statistic as I. You have not been beaten down by the negative stereotypes around you. You have defied all odds, and here on this day, I am, because we are. May my stubborn nature and my will to not be conquered motivate you to continue to beat the odds. May every word of doubt choke in the mouth of everyone willing to utter it to you, because you all are the stubborn statistic. I'll leave you all with this. When the nurse gave me what she thought was the worst news of my life, she said, "We have to immediately do surgery. I know it's a lot to process, but do you have any questions?" My response, "Well, can I get Bojangles?" Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, put your hands together. That's a story right there. That's a good story right there.